Hello everyone, I welcome you to the fourth day of beginners module. Today we are going to move on further and make some very creative games. And students, there are some more new things that you will be learning today. Today's learning outcomes are the activity, that is the second activity, chase game. Today we will be creating a game that is completely new and a chase game, and after that we will be having an overview of the software that we are going to start in the upcoming days, and it will be having a flappy game that will be having some kind of interesting things in it. So let us begin the day with the very new and very fresh game that we are going to make today. So students, here we go. Let us start. So students, here I am going to show you a chase game. In this game, we are having two sprites. We have taken two sprites. One is the ladybug and one is the jellyfish. Here what I have programmed it for, that in this game the ladybug will move freely and this jellyfish we can control by using our left, right and up down keys that are present in our laptop. So this game you can prepare very well if you are having a laptop or a desktop, okay, but over the mobile it won't be that much easy to prepare. So let me play this game and show you that how it will function. Here you can see score is also there. The game is all about that this ladybug will, whenever it will hit out or touch my jellyfish, then I will lose a point. So I have to save my jellyfish so that this ladybug should not touch it, okay, and with each touch or with each hit I will be losing one point, so that this points will be decreasing out here. So I'm going to show it that how it will be done. I can use my laptop arrows and you can hear the sound also. This sound, with every touch it will be producing some and the other sound, okay. So like this it will be there, means you have to just save out your character, any sprite you can take, and you have to save it. So again we will be preparing one game today in which you can play a chase game, means you can save out one character from touching out to the another one, like this. So it is a very simple game. It is having some sound, some background is there, and you can even take one or more character, that is your wish. So let me show you the coding area also for the same game. Here we are, here is the coding area. So what coding we have to do behind this is this one. See, I have taken two sprites, one is ladybug and one is the jellyfish. For jellyfish we are having the coding that is given out here, that whenever the key is pressed we are changing the location. We are also changing the x-axis and y-axis based on the key. For right arrows and left arrows we are changing it by the x-axis, and for up and down arrows we are changing it for y-axis. Similarly, for the ladybug you can see the coding, that whenever ladybug is being clicked or whenever the green flag is clicked, means the game is started, then forever we have to put here the loop. Loop is forever loop. Forever means that every time it will happen. What will happen? Glide is just swinging around. As you have seen in the game, the spider was just swinging around everywhere, and it will glide 1 second to random positions. Here we have taken position. You can see that many position options are there. Mouse pointer option or jellyfish, other sprite option is also there. So we have taken the random position, means the position is not fixed, okay. And what else we have done? We have done that when we will be clicking it again forever if it is going to touch the jellyfish. So again we have taken a loop here. This loop is if then loop. So if we have if it is being touched, then we will be decreasing out the score. So score is decreased. And also the pop sound. is being played. We can even record some and the other sounds here. Here I have just used a pop sound that was originally present in the Scratch desktop, so that we are not supposed to put out more efforts for that. And when the green flag is clicked again, we have to take out that at the beginning the score should be 100, and if the score is 0, then we will be switching on to the background, means the background should be changed whenever there will be the change in the score. So we have made out this much, and let us quickly start up a new project and see how we will be preparing it. Okay, for the new project, let us take some other sprites so that you can have some other adventure for that. So let's go. So here I have taken a new project, and in this project let us see what we have to do. First of all, we have to set up all the background and the sprites that we need. Okay, so I don't need this sprite right now for this game, so I am going to remove it. Here the dustbin option was there, I just clicked over it. Now let us see. I can choose a sprite that is already present. So first of all, let us see which sprite I can take. I can take any sprite like ballerina. Let us take ballerina here, and this is my first sprite. Okay, so I will be moving on ballerina here with the keys. So this is the first sprite that I will be moving on. Okay, and the random movement sprite, for that let us say, because I told you we will be moving on with a project of current situation, I'm going to upload a sprite. See, this is the new option that I'm telling you today. As firstly I told you, you can take any sprite that is already present out here, or what we can do, we can take out a sprite that is being uploaded from the computer. So you can see this, the top option, upload sprite. So I'm using this upload sprite, and over my laptop I'm having some coronavirus pictures, so I'm taking one of that. Let us take this one. So this can become my sprite. You can even take your own picture. You can choose any kind of photo that you are having over your mobile phone for the same purpose. Okay, so but see the cases there that this sprite is having quite larger size, isn't it? So for my game it won't be suitable. So I'm also having a solution for that, and I will be telling you very soon that how we can reduce the size of this sprite. So let us firstly set out a background also. So here I want a background. So for the background, let us go for backdrops, and here I'm going to choose a backdrop that is already present out here. Even I can take a picture from my laptop also. So for coronavirus, we can see that what background will be suitable. Some fantasy backgrounds will be better, na? So if the coronavirus is coming out, then which background we can use? So this star background, that is fine. I'm taking this star background, and now I'm having the coronavirus and ballerina here, but the size of the coronavirus is very large, so I have to reduce it. So let me tell you how to reduce the size of this virus. Now let us see these. There are many events that are given out here. Motion, looks, events. So I want that whenever I'm going to start the game, at that time the size of the coronavirus should decrease. So I'm going to take here some controls. Here look, size changed to percentage. I'm taking here from the look part. So when the start is pressed, then the side 100% is the actual size. Now I want to reduce it. So let me say that I want to reduce it to 40%. So let us see what will be the result. I am clicking here over the go, and it will get reduced. So I think this much size is fine. I can save my ballerina from this much size. If you still think that it's quite larger, then you can even reduce it. So let us say 30% I am saying here. Okay, and yeah, So this much is also fine. So this is the coronavirus and this is my ballerina, and I want to save my ballerina from this coronavirus whenever the game is going to start. And now I have to code for the movement of this ballerina. I want with the keys of my keyboard. You can use any key here. I am going to use the up, down and left, right keys. Okay, so for when I am going to press the key, then there should be movement in the ballerina. So let us take some codes here. So over this code area, I am having this event. In this event, I have to take that whenever there is movement. So I will be taking when key is pressed. So let us see this one. Yes. So whenever key is pressed, which key will be pressed? I am taking arrow keys. Okay. So first of all, let us take the right arrow key. So whenever right arrow key is pressed, then what will happen? Then the position of ballerina should change. So for changing the position, I have to go again to the motion coding code blocks, and I have to change the x-axis. Now where is the x-axis? You have to look for it. Change x-axis. Here we are having change the x-axis by 10. So here we are using the 10 location. Okay, so we can even check that is it working or not. Okay, so let us see. I'm going to start the game here and I'm going to press out the key over my keyboard. So here it is working. See, ballerina is able to move. It is not able to move in any other direction, just right, because we have just made it towards the right key. So let us move on further and code for other keys also. Again, I am taking the same blocks, control, whenever, event, whenever. Now after right key, I will be taking the left key. Left arrow key is pressed. Then in motion, I will be taking change y-axis. Change x-axis. Now again, but towards the other direction. So change x-axis, I will be writing here minus towards -10 direction. Okay, now again let us firstly check quickly that is it working or not. Towards right it's working, towards left also it's working, and that is very good that you can see over here that when I am pressing the right arrow, then this is blinking. You can see that whenever I am pressing the left arrow, then you can see this is blinking. So that is how you can check out that what you have made is correct or not. Now let us quickly complete the coding for this area. And now up and down arrow keys. Okay, so for up arrow key, I'm taking the down arrow key altogether because again and again we have to move it here. So whenever up arrow and down arrow, both I have taken here. And now motion I will be taking for right and left I took x-axis, and for up and down I will be taking the y-axis. So I am changing here the y-axis by 10 in both the cases, but when I am going up, then it will be +10. When I am going down, and I am writing here -10. Why? Because it will be minus y-axis. So let us check all the codes are properly working or not. Anytime you can drag the codes and keep them in the particular space you want, and I am just zooming it out so that you can have a good vision of what we have made. I hope all the code is visible to you properly. So let us click over go and see ballerina can move towards left, towards right, towards up, towards down. So now I can move my ballerina very quickly anywhere in the backdrop. So my first part of the game is just completed and I'm able to move my ballerina. Now the next part is that I want to move this coronavirus freely. As you all know, this coronavirus is moving freely in our country, in our world. So similarly we have to show here also. So for coding for this coronavirus, I will be clicking over the coronavirus. Okay, I'm clicking over the coronavirus. The first part of the coding that we have already done is that we have reduced the size. The second part we will be doing will be again that whenever we are going to start out the game, at that time I'm making it zoom so that it will be clear for you. So whenever we are going to start the game, then we have to take some controls. Which control? Forever. Whenever game will be starting, then we need the motion, that is it will glide. So I have to look for glide to random position. Here I am having over the motion coding area, here we are having the glide 1 second to random position. I have taken that, and let us quickly play it and see is it happening or not. So yes, it started gliding, and I can click over ballerina and can move ballerina also. So this was the first part of the code related to the coronavirus. So once again I am telling you, whenever green flag is clicked, then forever means it will not stop until the game is stopped. So that is why forever, what the coronavirus has to do, what this sprite has to do, it has to glide for 1 second to random position, means after every 1 second it will be changing its position. Now let us move on towards the next part. Now what is left? The thing that is left now is that whenever ballerina and coronavirus are getting touched, then one thing is we need a sound to be produced, and also we need that our marks should get reduced. Okay, so we also need a marks bar here. So for that also we have to take out the coding. Okay, so firstly let us see that how it will be making some kind of sound here. So the event here I'm taking here, that whenever I'm going to click over the go flag, then again I will be taking the control, that is forever. I will be taking one more control, that is if then I am taking that if then control here. Then what? Then I want that if it is getting touched, I will be taking one more sensing here. The sensing part I'm going to take, and this sensing is related to the color. So whenever touched what, I will be changing out here that whenever coronavirus is touching the ballerina, then we have to change the score and play the sound. So firstly I am adding here only sound. So play the sound until done. I will be using this block, play the sound, but which sound we will be using? So let us firstly see the sounds that are already present here. I'm going to choose a sound. Here in the sprite ballerina is a girl, so I'm taking the voice here. So is there any kind of voice that screaming? Oh, this is not good. Yeah, you can take this, but that will be very much noisy, na?
Hey!
This is not the sound of a girl. So
Yeah!
so fine, I can take this sound, that will be better. So I'm going over the code area, then I'm going to take out here the scream sound came. That is how you will be adding the sounds also. Okay, and even if you are a girl and you can record very well, you can record any kind of sound that you want. So I am just adding a scream sound here. So let us see that how it will be working and how she will be screaming whenever coronavirus is coming near to the ballerina. So I'm trying to move my ballerina and trying to save it, otherwise, but let us see that. Oh, she screamed. So this was how that ballerina will be screaming when this virus will be coming near. Okay, so see, this is how we made our first element of code here. This is the first part of the code. For ballerina also we coded, and for coronavirus also we coded. I hope this was very much interesting for you people, and you will be surely trying it all, and you can change as whatever you want to change out here, you can try. So the last part is left, and that part is that you have to add out the score. Okay, and that part I will be continuing in my next video. So we have made up till now, and that is, I think, quite enough for you to do over a day of time, and I hope that you will be completing up to this part. So thus just the scoring is left, but let us go over the full screen and play how ballerina and the virus will be moving on together. And I'm going to play this game for sure today, because we together made this game here, and I hope that you will be saving your sprite from the coronavirus. Okay, so that was all for this game. Now let us move on further and see what all we have to do. Now let us quickly see what we'll be doing in the upcoming days. So here is a quick view that we can make some kind of games like animal sounds. How or you can actually set an event in which you can make someone sing, and just by clicking over the musical instruments, you can just by tapping, you can think of some kind of games or some kind of apps that you can draw like this. Let's move on to a new online software that we are going to use with a very simple block coding. Now see here, when I am going to click, the flapping will be done and the wind sound will be done. So I'm clicking over the run, and on clicking over this, it's moving. But if it got hit there, then I have to move on further. So I'm moving towards the next puzzle of the same game. As you can see here, it's uploading, and I'm just making the screen larger for that. Now you can see here that the blocks are changed. When hit the ground, we are having the game should end, and wind sound should be there. So let us start again. So game is ending when I am going to hit the ground. In the next part, we are having some more programming, like when we are going to run, the speed. Now also one more block is being added, that speed will be there. So when click, I'm adding again the play sound, and when running, the speed should be normalized. It should be normal. So with the normal speed, it should not touch that black lines. Neither the line nor the ground should be touched. Then only my game will be better. So here, this flappy bird is moving by flapping its wing and moving with a normal speed, as you can see. But as soon as I'm going to touch the ground, or I'm going to hit the black line, then the game will be over. Oops, the game is over, and so our lecture also. So students, thanks for watching. Please do not forget to comment and like the video. Thanks a lot.